While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar stone at the British Museum. The two Japanese girls were inexplicably amused by something. The pots in the case seemed to amuse the girls no end. The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec. The corridor led back to the main entrance. I wasn't leaving here until I'd got what I'd come for. The display case contained a couple of vases. It was a phone, probably for staff only. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move. The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. It was a small, flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake. It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The cabinet was locked. I doubted I could sneak this enormous stone out under my jacket. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. It was a hair clip. I had and have no interest in old pots. Perhaps I'm a Philistine, but old vases bore me. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. I didn't need to make a call. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
I wanted nothing to do with that statue. It made me nervous somehow. There was nothing I wanted to do with the statue except find out where he bought his hat. Très chic. The cabinet was locked. That's the kind of thing Georges would do, not me. The cabinet was locked. That's the kind of thing Georges...
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about the scrying mirror?
Ah, that belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
What is a scrying mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
I didn't think the museum attendant would be interested in a hair grip. Not even a cute one like this. What can you tell me about that stone with a jaguar on it?
The so-called Jaguar Stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented, with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror, to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? Tizletlik... I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillier?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle? France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
Professor Roubillier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar Stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Roubillier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. didn't steal the stone. I was nowhere near it.
So who do you suppose did steal it?
It must have been the Japanese girls.
Did you see them touch the cabinet?
Not exactly. But they're laughing about something.
All girls giggle, especially Japanese ones.
Don't you think it's suspicious that Oublier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess, moored down by Tower Bridge. Why do you ask?
Just wondering. Thank you. You've been most helpful. The mask looked more African than American. I didn't want the mask, although it certainly reminded me of somebody.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask him just then. I doubted the girls would be any help to me. I didn't need to make a call.
I'm sorry, miss, but I shall have to ask you to stay.
Oh, but surely you don't suspect me of stealing the stone?
No, but you will have to make a statement to the police. You're a witness.
That's the kind of... I didn't need to make a call. It would probably be less suspicious if I kept away from the empty case. The cabinet was locked. It was the obsidian mirror which Drake had given to John Dee. That's the kind of... The cabinet was locked. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. It was a small key, intended for a small lock. It was the key to the museum display cabinet. The key unlocked the case. I locked the case again and took the key. The key didn't fit this lock. It was an obsidian dagger, thin and razor sharp. Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oublier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oublier, and fast. The doors were securely locked. The doors were The doors... I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.